Alright, you lot. Welcome back to another rounder here, Scotty. Only show where your questions get brutal Yorkshire truth and not sugar-coated bollocks some influencer would whisper while holding a discount code. You've sent your best, your worst, you're downright stupid, and today we're going to tear through a lot of them. Some of you'll get a cheeky slap, some of you'll get full steel-toe boot in face. But either way, you asked for it. Like, subscribe and all that bollocks if you want to keep feeding this beast. Because we aren't you lot throwing these questions in. I'd just be shouting at wall in my kitchen with a pint. Right then, first victim. This one's from DrawnNet, my southern pal, and he says, I seem to be getting a Yorkshire accent by watching your channel. Is there a medical cure for this? Do I get a twonk badge for question? Plus, if there is a medical cure, why have you not taken it? Listen lad, first of all, you should be thanking me. Getting a Yorkshire accent is like levelling up in life. Down south, you lot sound like you're apologising just for existing. Up here, we sound like we've survived 3 winters in gravy and spite. Yorkshire accent into illness. It's a survival upgrade. You walk into a room down south with a voice like mine, people assume you can fix boilers, fake bears, and still make it home in time for tea. Now, medical cure? Yeah, it exists. It's called stop watching my channel and go back to calling it bath instead of bath, while sipping weak tea out of a mug that says keep calm and carry on. But let's be honest, that's not a cure, that's regression. You'd be crawling back into southern swamp where gravy comes in granules and nobody knows what proper bread tastes like. Do you get a twonk badge for question? Nah, twonk badges are earned through acts of monumental stupidity, not playful banter. At best, you get a Yorkshire welcome pack, black cap, chip butty, and a pint of bitter your whinge is too strong. And why ain't I taking cure? Cause this ain't a curse, lad. This is power. This is culture. This is sound of men who built railways, mined coal, and still found time to raise whippets. If I ditched Yorkshire in me, I'd be just another voice in queue at Pret asking for extra oat milk. So thank you, DrawnNet, for your question. And remember, you wake up one morning and call your mate a proper pillock without even thinking about it. Not a symptom. That's progress. This one's from Firkin-L1, and he asks, Hey Scotty, what is your ultimate spec gaming rig and which game would you want it to power through? Now that's a proper question. Truth is, I've already got a rig that makes most consoles look like fish-priced toys. Ryzen 7 9800X3D, 32 gigs of DDR5, and a chunky RTX 3080 Ti blasting frames out faster than Ubisoft can ship Brock and Assassin's Creed. That's my daily driver, solid as a brick outhouse, and it'll last years before it needs mercy killing. But then my lad comes swaggering in with his RTX 5090, like he's parked a Ferrari next to me trusty rally car. He's got 7800X3D, same RAM, and a 1500-watt Platinum PSU pumping enough juice to keep half a Leeds lit. On ultra settings, he's pulling over 800 FPS, and I've had to cap him at 240 because his monitor was starting to look traumatised. Fortnite with ray tracing on looks like bloody Pixar medi, and he's just casually racking up wins while I'm sat here wondering why I ever thought 3080 Ti were enough. But here's the thing that actually matters. Kid don't just sit in dark grind, he takes breaks, he goes out, touches grass, helps round house, and comes back to melt GPUs for fun. That's how you raise Gen Z Ray. Not sat in a Discord VC crying cause SBMM put you against sweaty McNor life again. As fit game I'd want to power through? Don't matter, does it? Could be Splitgate, could be Battlefield 6, could be some next-gen monstrosity that ray traces reflection of your tears while you're getting stomped. Point is, my rig handles it. His rig demolishes it. And if it ever lags, I know it's devs being twonks, not hardware. So cheers Firkin-L for asking a real question. And if you sat there on a dusty old PS4 that sounds like it's about to take off every time you load Warzone, maybe don't benchmark yourself against us. You'll just cry into your packet noodles. Right, this one's from JackLeftTime427, and he says, Serious question for you, Scotty. Should I get Helldivers 2 for Xbox? Would it be a good idea to pre-order Deluxe Edition of Battlefield 6 for game bonus plus a bonus reward from my local electronics store where they'll give me a $10 gift card for use with a future purchase? Now listen mate, Helldivers 2? Yeah, no hesitation. It's co-op carnage, democracy delivered by orbital bombardment, and a game where half the fun is watching your squad get accidentally flattened by friendly fire. It's chaos wrapped in satire, and it's actually worth paying for. So if you're on Xbox and want proper laughs with your mates, Helldivers 2 is a no-brainer. But then you mentioned pre-ordering Battlefield 6 Deluxe Edition for a $10 gift card, and that's when my blood pressure spiked harder than Warzone Cheaters KD. Pre-ordering a Battlefield game is like buying a parachute that ain't been sewn yet. You hand over your cash, they throw you a bundle of fabric and tell you, don't worry, we'll stitch it mid-air. You're already dead, mate, and your corpse is DLC. That $10 gift card into perk, it's a bribe, hush money. CA whispering, here's a $5 off your next mistake, now shut up while we ship another half-baked launch. Pre-orders are why games release broken, why patches come 6 months late, why we all sit in lobbies wondering if it's us lagging or servers imploding. Look, it's your money. If you want to gamble it on Battlefield pre-order, go for it. Just don't cry when deluxe skin you paid for clips through map while you rubber band across desert. Real power move is wait, watch it, and only buying when game actually works. That's how we start Beast, not feed it. So yeah, Helldivers 2, no pre-ordering Battlefield 6. And thank you, Jack, for reminding us why industry is rotten, because people still think a $10 gift card is worth gambling 60 quid on another broken launch. Right, this one's from Pirate Friendly Arsonist 9195, and he asks, Scotty, what's your thoughts on Battlefield 6 beta? Asian Persuasion also asked about this, so I'm answering for both of you. Now I'll be straight with you, mate, I had a bloody good time with it. Gameplay felt solid, maps weren't just claustrophobic COD corridors with Battlefield stickers slapped on, and for once I wasn't being chucked into a sweat box by some sadistic matchmaking algorithm. It actually felt like Battlefield again, big, loud, messy, and half at fun being flattened by a tank while you're trying to arm a charge. That's Battlefield chaos, and I love it. But, and there's always a but, you can smell codification. Time to kill trimmed down, menus look like they've been designed by marketing intern who's only ever played Warzone. They're chasing COD crowd, and while I get why they're doing it, it's like watching your mate in a leather jacket suddenly turn up in skinny jeans trying to impress cool kids. Just don't fit. It's gold standard though. Matchmaking it better were loose. No SBMM clamping me into sweat lobbies where I'm expected to no-scope like I'm auditioning for FaZe. Loose matchmaking meant chaos. Sometimes you stomp, sometimes you get stomped, but it always feels like a proper battle, not a forced algorithmic gulag. Keep it loose. Better yet, rip out SBMM entirely. That's real Battlefield experience. Massive maps, random chaos, and thrill of not knowing whether you'll dominate or spend all rounds respawning in a bush. So my thoughts? Loved it. Best time I've had in Battlefield beta in years. But if they clamp it down, tighten matchmaking, double down on COD features, then they'll have taken a Battlefield and turned it into another padded cell. Thanks, Byro, for question. You reminded me why I still hold out hope for this series, even if EA isn't background sharpening knives. Right, this one's from Ages444, and he asks, what's the difference between BR and extraction shooter, besides not needing to kill everyone? Is it risk or reward? Right, let's lay it out so clean even an Activision exec could follow along without crying into loot box reports. Battle Royale is basically a flashy game show. 100 players drop in, scramble like rats in a bin, and circle shrinks till there's one sorry sod left standing. Risk is low, because no matter what you do, you're booting back to the lobby with naught but bruised pride. Reward? Bragging rights, maybe a crown skin, and knowledge you wasted 25 minutes playing a lottery with some teenager with cracked reflexes farmed you for content. BR is popcorn, tasted for a second, but it leaves you hungry and wondering why you spent your evening on it. Extraction shooters? That's steak with knives out. Tarkov, DMZ, Preorders, they're built on constant risk. Everything you take in, you can loot. Gun, armour, meds, even your self-respect when you get shot in the face 5 minutes into raid. But reward? That's hook. You drag loot out alive, and it's yours. Better gear, more money, bragging rates that actually mean something cause you stole some poor lad's custom rifle he grounded 40 hours for. Every round's a gamble. Every firefight matters. It's not about being last and alive. It's about surviving long enough to get your payday. So yeah, mate, core difference is risk versus reward. BR's are fast food, quick, greasy, disposable. Extraction shooters are full-blown bank ice where failure costs you everything. One's a casual dopamine treadmill, others a survival horror with spreadsheets. Thanks, Ages, for a question that actually matters. Next time someone tells you BR and extraction shooters are the same, tell them to put their M4 online in Tarkov and watch them cry when they lose it. Right, this one's from Asian Persuasion, and he asks, hey Scotty, what inspired you to do YouTube and advocate for gaming to be better? Were you fed up with COD BS, or were it a combination of things? Also, what's going on with SG2 and relaunch and word? Now that's a proper heavy hit. It's truth. I didn't wake up one day and decide to be a YouTuber because I fancied free merch and energy drink sponsorships. I've been around this industry for years, and not just as a player. I were a network engineer, keeping you lot online while marketing departments lied through the teeth about everything being stable. Then I moved on to cybersecurity, and let me tell you, no hardens your soul faster than talking to families gutted by online attacks. You want empathy, but when you've got kids of your own, that empathy rips a hole in you. After that, I did QA for a company I can't name, thanks to NDA. But let's just say I saw games collapse into unplayable messes and still get shipped out at door. That's when it clicked. Rotting's accidental. It's built in. And for years of writing scripts and editing for other YouTubers behind curtain, I thought, sod it, I'll start me own. I made my clients promise not to promote me, because I didn't want clout, wanted honesty. No polish, no sugar, just blunt force truth. That's why I advocate for gaming to be better, because I've seen what it looks like inside, and I know it doesn't have to be this bad. COD's BS might have been a trigger, but it were years of scars that Lord had done. Now SG2, I'll be honest, I've not been hammering it lately. Battlefield 6 beta ate me time, and Muse Dash got its hooks in with a new track that's kicking me ass. But SG2's still on my radar. OG Playlist came back for a bit, and they need to make that permanent. Don't brings players back like nostalgia, and the new map Mondays, with the showcase community maps like Celery. That's smart. That's how you keep things fresh without crunching your dev team into floor. As for relaunch, take your bloody time. Don't rush it. Don't crunch. Don't try to copy Triple H one. Build it right, and players will come back. People want to play a good game, not rush them. So thank you, Asian Persuasion, for a question that digs deeper than most. COD's trash fires may have lit fuse, but it was me years inside Brocken Machine that made me start chucking grenades from outside. Now then, this one's from Asian Persuasion again, and he asks, does pineapple belong on pizza? I mean, does bacon belong on pizza? What about ham? Right, let's get this out of the way. Pineapple on pizza? Absolutely not. That's not food, that's hate crime. Fruit's no business dripping all over molten cheese unless you're trying to call forth Antichrist through your oven. Whoever first slapped pineapple on a pizza should be forced to eat no but microwave rustler burgers for the rest of the natural life. Now bacon, that's opposite. Bacon belongs everywhere. Bacon on pizza, bacon on burgers, bacon in milkshakes if you're mad enough. It's duct tape at Food World. You can slap bacon on oat and it'll make it better. If Titanic had been held together by bacon instead of rivets, it'd still be floating today. Bacon ain't just an ingredient, it's answer to every question. Ham sits in middle. Ham's fine. It's not starting bait, it's not winning war. It's just beer. Neutral, decent, reliable. Put ham on a pizza, nobody riot. Nobody storms out at room. It just exists, peaceful. But pineapple? Pineapple splits communities worse than Brexit. One order of Hawaiian, and suddenly your gaming group's Discord server is a civil war. So no, pineapple don't belong on pizza. Bacon does, ham's acceptable. Thank you, Asian Persuasion, for dropping one at questions that will split community right down middle and leave us all picking sides like it's custody battle over cheese. So, you lot, that's another A Scotty wrapped up. 7 questions, 7 rants, probably 7 new enemies made a long way. We've gone from PC rigs that can melt steel to pre-orders that melt your wallet. From chaos of Battlefield's beta to eternal crime of pineapple on pizza. Some of you ask clever questions, some of you stitched yourselves up, all of you got Yorkshire truth hammer straight to Boris. Join Discord, follow on it, consider a channel membership if you want to fuel fire. Smash like, hit subscribe, drop your comments and questions below. So I've got more poor sods to roast next time. And I'll see you next time, you magnificent